Hey everybody, it's Rob here and we're back with yet another Winter Storm Landon update as we already have some active snow, sleet, and freezing rain falling in parts of Illinois, Indiana, all the way up to Michigan, and even in Missouri. And we've got quite a bit to talk about in today's video, so let's go ahead and just hop right into it. Currently, we're going to be looking at the National Weather Service watch, warning, and advisory display. So what this gives us is obviously all the watches, warnings, and advisories for the entirety of the United States. And we can see we have winter storm warnings and watches extending all the way from parts of New Mexico and Texas, all the way up into New York and even Vermont. This is probably one of the largest areas of winter storm warnings and watches I think I've ever seen, including some ice storm warnings here through Kentucky, parts of western Tennessee, eastern Arkansas. This is the area where all of that icing is going to be occurring, some of those more significant power outages and events like that. So let's go ahead and look at the NAM model here. Now, this is a little bit of a shorter, a higher resolution model, so this is what we're going to be using for today's video. And you can already see it is actively depicting this morning rain, morning precipitation. This is a little bit closer to right on what is happening right about now. And as we move on through the day today, this is more into the afternoon, going into the evening is whenever we're going to start to have this ice and snow build up through Texas and Oklahoma. This will also be a pretty significant icing event just on the southern end. If you are just south of where the higher snow totals are, just know you are in that area where you could be seeing quite a bit of ice, which could be even more deadly and more of a problem for you than the snow could be. So by later on tonight, this is whenever this ice and snow will be underway here on this southern edge. The northern mode will be pushing off kind of in the Great Lakes region, more or less falling apart as it moves away. In Ohio, you're going to get a little bit of snow, a little bit of sleet and freezing rain from this, but the secondary wave is what we are mainly concerned about. As we move into tomorrow morning, Thursday, this is when the major impacts start to happen. Where I showed you guys those ice warnings just south of the winter storm warnings is where a lot of this sleet and freezing rain is going to be occurring just south of this. This is probably the most concerning thing about this storm. I don't think I have seen this large of a swath of sleet and freezing rain before. Along with the heavy snow on the back end of it. I mean, even if you're on the back end of these systems, you're going to be seeing 6 inches up to a foot of snow. So we're going to go ahead and move this through. This is closer to midday now, Thursday. By midday Thursday, more of the southern edge here is you're not really getting as much precipitation as you were earlier on. And here we see this line of just, this is going to be an incredible ice storm, really. That's going to be the main show, in my opinion, of Winter Storm Landon. We've got ice extending all the way from Texas, all the way up into parts of eastern Pennsylvania. I mean, this is a massive storm system. Some places like Illinois, Indiana, and parts of Ohio, Missouri, you're going to be seeing snow, sleet, or freezing rain pretty much from right now when I'm uploading this video all the way through the end of the day, Thursday. It's going to be 24 all the way up to even almost 48 hours straight of just snow, sleet, and freezing rain. So by the end of the day, Thursday, we're looking at you still have some of this freezing rain and sleet going on here. This is a very long duration event. And finally, whenever we get into the morning hours Friday, some of these places in here like Kentucky, Tennessee, and Arkansas, you lose a little bit of that precipitation falling, which is good. Definitely very good for those areas. Midday Fridays, whenever this system starts to move off to the east, up into areas like Vermont, Maine, you're going to be seeing some snow, possibly some more of that sleet, freezing rain situation. But the east, I don't think will be hit as hard as some of the areas in the midsection here, extending all the way from Texas all the way up through central Ohio. This is going to be a very significant ice storm event. So by the end of the day Friday, pretty much this system has starting to move off the coast, and yeah, by midnight Friday, it's pretty much entirely off the coast. We'll go ahead and check out some of the snowfall totals. Again, this is the NAM model. And as I predicted, as we were looking at on this last model, you can notice some of this sleet and freezing rain is farther north than what we saw on the last few GFS models. So as we predicted, areas instead of the ice being more down in southern Ohio, down here into Kentucky, it's a little bit farther north. So places like central Ohio, Columbus, even up to maybe the Akron Canton region, you will be kind of in that in-between zone of seeing the ice and the snow. So we'll go ahead and move on here, and this gives you an idea of the two waves that we're having. So this is what is actively going on right now. The snow and freezing rain and precipitation falling through the 3 states here, or well, I guess including Michigan, it's 4 states. But you're going to have pockets in here in Illinois that are going to be seeing about a foot of snow, possibly more locally. And this is kind of the first wave. And at the same time, you see that that southern wave start up down here. Now, this is going to be more of an ice event down here just south of this snow. And it will rapidly move off to the east and then kind of slow down and just be a big line of just slowly moving freezing rain, snow, and ice. And then we see some more accumulations starting in east central Indiana all the way up into Pennsylvania, New York, kind of near the Buffalo area. Some places in northern Ohio, you're going to be having, again, a foot of snow. Just south of the snow regions down here from Columbus down south, you're going to be in that icing region where you're going to have sleet and freezing rain, which again is going to be very significant. This could be really a very, very significant winter storm for a lot of people. Places up here in northern Ohio, you already have seen tons of snow, and some of the side roads already have walls of snow on each side of them. So if we get another foot of snow on top of that, snowplows will not even be able to clear the roads because you already have snow piles so tall that they can't even pile up any more snow on top of it. And on top of that, you may have ice, sleet, and freezing rain that occurs on the bottom layer and then snow on top of it, which could make conditions even worse. Lastly, we're going to go over here and check out the accumulated freezing rain. So this, just to preface, this does overestimate the freezing rain to a degree. So maybe we can cut these numbers in half. But this gives us a great depiction all the way from Texas kind of through Arkansas, and then in that area where we had the ice storm warnings. This is going to extend all the way up as far north as kind of the Canton region for Ohio. This includes possibly Columbus, all the way up into Pennsylvania, and then more of the southeast side of New York. So some of these areas could be seeing a quarter inch, possibly even up to an inch of freezing rain in some areas. That's going to bring a lot of possibly tree limbs down, power lines. Guys, you just need to be prepared. Have your phones charged, have, food, water, whatever you need. Worst comes to worst, nothing happens, and you can say, I was prepared for it anyways. And as this kind of moves on, you can see some spotty areas here where they're also receiving some freezing rain and stuff. So please just heed the warnings. That's one thing that I ask, especially in this region, all the way from northeastern Texas all the way through up into like Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, especially this stretch in here. I mean, man, southern Ohio is going to be really battered with some serious freezing rain and ice totals. So yeah, that's today's update. Please stay safe out there, guys. Winter Storm Landon is definitely not messing around at all. But yeah, that's about all I have. So thank you so much to everybody who has watched and subscribed recently. If you like seeing weather content like this, I update severe and winter weather. Best thing I can do is recommend that you subscribe. I mean, it's completely free, and worst comes to worst, you can unsubscribe at any time. So thank you so much for watching. Stay safe out there, and peace out.